pushes us to do more, chase more, prove more. Just run, 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 run. Today's session is inviting us all to pause, to breathe, to look inward, and to begin building a life that feels as good on the outside as it is on the inside. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live session. I'm glad you are joining us. Let us know where you are joining us from, and tell us your name, where you are joining us from, if you desire to do so. And remember, this place is designed for growth, is designed for purpose, leadership, and living boldly with wisdom, and also to navigate the complexity of our immigrant journeys and life in general. And today I'm really, really excited because we have an extraordinary guest who is no stranger to us, Sophia Toh, who is now an author, beyond being an executive coach and leadership trainer, and who is so smart. Every time she comes, we are smarter than before. So, Sophia, I can read your bio or I can ask you to introduce yourself, but I would rather, to make it fun, more relaxing, I'd rather ask you, please introduce yourself and give us a fun fact.
Yes, thank you, Marianne. And Marianne, I can see the chart. So if you see where people are calling in from, please let me know. Yeah, I love to know. Yes. So hi everyone. My name is Sophia Toh. I've been friends with Marianne for quite a few years now. This is my third time appearing on her shows, and I think every time is a different platform, right? Which is great. So I am an immigrant like Marianne. I moved to the United States from Malaysia. I'm Chinese Malaysian. I was born and raised in Malaysia. I moved from Malaysia to the United States 36 years ago, a long time ago. Yeah, and I came to the U.S. for school. Got my accounting degree in a bachelor's degree in accounting. And then I actually owned a Chinese restaurant right after graduation. My husband and I opened a Chinese restaurant in the state of Alabama. Owned the restaurant for 5.5 years, close to 6 years. And then we decided I wanted to go back to school to get my MBA. So we sold the restaurant. I moved to West Lafayette, Indiana, and I got my MBA degree from Purdue University. And after that, I spent 20 years in corporate finance and accounting, 15 years with Procter & Gamble, and close to 2 years with Kraft Heinz. So when I left, I was a VP of finance. At that time, it was already my third time. And I have been like a two-time business unit CFO. One of them is a 5 billion business unit. So I have climbed the ladder. For almost 4 years ago, I left corporate. I decided that it's the right time for me to leave and actually pursue the life that I want. Because at that time, my kids, we were becoming empty nester. So I decided that I wanted a life that I can give back more, actually. And being in corporate, it was all consuming. Yes, paychecks look good, bank account look good, but that's about it, right? I needed a lot more out of that. So I left corporate 4 years ago and became an executive coach and leadership trainer. And so here I am today. And I have published last month my second book because I actually was in an anthology with 11 other women from P&G. We are all former P&G leaders, where we published an anthology called Leadership Unscripted. And I think Marianne is going to put the link to my story in this book. So you can just read it. You don't have to buy the book. You can just use that link to read my stories so that you can get additionally my background. But last month, I published this book, which is the focus of our discussion today. The Game of Life, Illuminated Leadership, Fulfilled Life. And this is after the concept of eudaimonia by Aristotle. Aristotle had this concept of eudaimonia, which means human flourishing or living well. Normally, we talk about with surviving, we talk about with thriving. It's more on a personal level, but human flourishing means that you're making your environment better too. You're making other people better too. So you're actually better than just being well on your own. You're also helping others to be better and helping the world to be better at the same time. And I did come up with the acronym, the GAME, the GAME. It stands for G stands for growth, A stands for authenticity, M stands for meaning, and E stands for excellence. So, which means the excellence basically tells you that I am not quiet quitting because some of my colleagues was like, "What is Sophia doing?" Right, walking away from big paycheck. I am not quiet quitting. I am still living in an excellent way, I believe, and everything that I have my hands on, I'm giving it my all and giving it my best. Yeah, so I think that's a long introduction.
Yes, because
yeah, okay.
Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome. I see Canada is in the house. Greetings from Canada. My good friend Abigail, who always supports everything that I do. Welcome, welcome. And there are some other people on. But if you don't mind putting where you are joining us from, Sophia has told me, let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. I know that the invite that went out was a little bit serious, time to reset, but it's really serious too. We want to reset. You know, Sophia, as you were talking about, you've climbed the ladder. By the way, this is Sophia's book, The Game of Life. And the game GAME, they all stand for something that she talked about, but we'll dive deeper. But when you were talking about you've climbed the ladder, you became a VP.
Yes.
I believe that somewhere in the book, you say that you climbed the ladder and you realized that the ladder was against
leaning against the wrong wall.
Leaning against the wrong wall. But since you mentioned it, I would like you to talk a little bit about that. And this is a conversation. Yes. And my friend Eunice. So Abigail, Eunice, they are all my sisters. I don't even call them my friends. They are on the call. Thank you for not call, but they are on the show. So thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, Sophia. So we are going to go all over, and you're going to drop wisdom. Fine. This book. Let me even talk about this book shortly. This book is, from how much I've read, compilation of stories. It is nuggets for life wisdom. It's also framework that you can apply, and I'm sure you can use. She talks about imposter syndrome. She talks about emotional intelligence, psychological safety. This book, you can read it for yourself and also use it to teach others. So we will take the stories, take it as you go. I will ask the questions as we go, but I'm so excited that we are privileged to have you come and share this book, and congratulations on the book. Thank you. So talk about the ladder, and then we will start. I want to ask you about the ladder and a few things.
Okay, talk about the ladder. Because I think at that time when I made the decisions to leave, it was when the pandemic was ending, and I had to make a decision career-wise. So I was interviewing with 7 companies, and 3 of them are CFO roles of public companies. So it's going to be like the biggest paycheck that I have ever seen in my life. But I wasn't excited. It was kind of strange because every time when I advance to the next round, I get anxious. It wasn't exciting. It was just anxious, anxiety. So I was like, okay, this is my spidey feeling wasn't feeling right. And then I did actually interview with boards too, right? And then I was like, I don't want this life anymore. I was like, I don't want to be in a all-consuming life anymore, where all my life is tied up in this, and I don't have time for my family. I don't have time to give back. And then my husband and I actually started to talk about how much do we really need a few years before. And we did some exercise, and we came up with a really low number, like I don't remember, like 50% or 60% what I was making at that time, a few years before that. So, and I was making lower salary at that time. So we know that we actually don't need a lot anymore to live comfortably, right? Because we have kind of built a financial cushion, and we live very simply, right? My biggest expenses are books, probably, that I probably bought secretly on Kindle from so we started to take stock, and I started to realize that I can actually walk away and then still make a living at the same time. And so when I realized that I wasn't getting really excited about the opportunities, I started to really do some soul searching. It was scary. It was so scary because all the time when people say, what do you want when you grow up as a finance person? You always say you want to be a CFO. And by that time, I was a CFO twice already, 3 times VP. And CFO of a big public company comes with more responsibility, right? And I was like, do I want to live this life anymore? And part of me really wanted to give back. And I was worried that by the time I survive and leave corporate, retire with lots of money, all I can do is just give money away, because guess what? I'm probably not healthy enough to to do anything anymore, right? Yeah, so that was, I guess, the turning point when my body, everything was telling me, wait, Sophia, you don't want this. And it was a miserable time, but it was worth it. The questioning, the soul searching, it was really worth it, because I felt that I heard my inner voice and my inner child, maybe, because we talk about the inner child telling me maybe this is not what you want anymore. So that's why I walk away, and realizing that that ladder, I climbed it all the way up, but I realized that maybe I don't want to go the other way. But it doesn't mean, but I have learned that since then, I have learned that I wasn't jumping down from that ladder and start from the bottom, because people will be like, okay, you're going to drop down to the totem pole, you have to climb back up again. And that is not true, because of the knowledge and experience that I have built. I was actually able to leverage what I know. I coach executives, right? So I can share with them my experiences as an executive. And I am so used to leading teams. So there wasn't a lot of like a learning curve for me to really switch to being an executive coach and trainer. And at the same time, I have all this very healthy network, right? I have my the network that I built from the companies I work with. I have the network that I have from my alumni network. So I realized that I wasn't starting from scratch. I actually was starting in quite a healthy place for me. Yeah. So the ladder thing, yes, I wasn't jumping down. I feel that I'm just jumping from this ladder. You know, like when you play Nintendo, you jump from this ladder to the other one. And I wasn't climbing up with that ladder, because when I jumped to the other side, now I feel like I am helping people all around. I wasn't really trying to chase anything at the top, because I am my own boss, right? Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, you make some very, very, very important points. And I will say that our audience, some are the very beginning of their careers, but a good number are that 50 plus. That's what the algorithm says. And so everyone is beginning to rethink life. You know, all this running. Is it really worth it? And I've been advised all this running. It's time to pause. And I'm speaking to myself, you know, there is a comment. Well, let's talk about the cover of the book. So this is The Game of Life, Illuminated Leadership Fulfills Life, right? Okay. Then before we go, it's related to that, because there's a question in the book that says, what does a life well lived mean to you? And audience, you can put that question in. What does a life well lived mean to you? If you were to 10 years down the line, when you look back, what do you want your life to have been? But Sophia, you are the guest.
Yes. And so you touch on the cover. I turn off my selfie so I can see. So the cover is actually from here. So my daughter did this when she was 15. And when the publisher and I were talking about book covers, and my publisher said, I can turn that into the book cover. I was like, deal. Did you realize that, Marianne? You have stared at this for a few years now.
Yes, I did not know.
Yeah, I turned on my self-view so that I can show you. Okay, now I can't see myself anymore. Yeah, so it was so cool, right? Yeah. And
it's so cool.
I have two stories in this book about that cover. One about how it came about, my daughter's artwork, and the other one is actually related to a story about butterflies by a Chinese philosopher, Zhuangzi. That was in my closing chapter. So you can read like two stories out of that book. For me, now I do want to say, if we want to play the game, we need to know what does success mean to you, right? And we need to understand that everyone's success definition is very individual, right? And it's also not really what you have accumulated, but how you feel at the end of the day, right? It's really
Say that again. Say that again.
So everyone's success is really individualized, right? We all have our own definition of success. So when you play the game, you follow your definition of success, but it's actually not about what you accumulated. It's about how you feel at the end of the day. When you submit that report card of your life, it's really about how you feel. Have you been successful, or have you been fulfilled, right? Yeah. Because I feel that we all feel that success may have one definition, and that is definitely not true. And I think social media, all the noise out there, may mean that success means that you have a lot of money. But I would encourage you to maybe think about the miserable rich people out there that you know, right? Yeah, so think about that. And I have always been a curious child, and I've talked about that. So when I was a kid, I like to hang out with older people, and I always like ask them to tell me stories. And all these stories now I'm hearing doesn't tie with what I think success should be, which is chasing money and chasing all of that. So which is why my whole life I have always been, yes, I was chasing money, working in corporate, but at the same time I keep wondering, right? Is this what it is? Is this is not enough? So it's your definition of success, and we're chasing a feeling. And in my opening chapter, I talked about we're really chasing a feeling of unwanting. For me, at least, right? For me, I'm chasing the feeling of I don't actually want anything. I am good where I am, but I'm still giving my best and giving my all, doing the best that I can. But I don't really need things or accomplishment to tell me that I'm worthy of love, that I am enough. And that's the feeling for me is a life well lived, because we don't need validation, outside validation, to tell us that we are worthy of love. And I think many times we try to do so many things to try to say, love me because I've done this, I've this money, love me, but love is actually kind of earned in a way. But the very first thing that we need to learn is that we need to love and empower ourselves. Before we can love other people, right? So keep that in mind. What does success mean? For me, a life well lived is really that I'm fulfilled in a way that I feel that I am contributing. I'm constantly learning. I love to grow. I am true to myself, right? Basically, it's the game, basically, right? And I'm doing things that are meaningful, and I do it in a good way, the best way that I can, the excellence part. If you follow my growth, that is my life well lived. I get to learn. I get to be myself, authenticity. I'm doing things that are meaningful to me and to others too. And then I'm giving it my best and my all. Yeah.
Oh, Sophia, I feel like I'm listening to a philosopher, but at the same time, too, it's very much grounded, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of validation is from inside.
Yes.
But that's not what society has made us feel. Society is about the likes that we get. It's about the number of friends you have on Facebook. It's about the people who are on your YouTube, the number of subscribers you have. That is
the like that they click.
The like,
they click on your post.
And it's real. And it's real. What I'm saying is real. You put out your best. I'm also hearing you. You put out your best effort on a YouTube video, and then you go and there's no like or very low views, and you know.
And you're like, I'm not good. I'm
not good enough. Yeah.
Right?
If I were good, why don't I have more subscribers? Why don't I have more likes? You know. So speak to that a little bit. I think you have, but expand on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think and I have read that research have shown that that is the cognitive bias that we have as human beings. Yeah, we like to judge other people, And we also have negativity bias. When things happen, we tend to think about the worst case scenario, right? Yeah. So I do think that it's human nature. Maybe we're wired that way, but for our own sake, right? For us to build our own self-compassion and self-belonging, self-efficacy, we got to stand up for ourselves. We got to say, I'm going to be nurturing myself as how I would nurture somebody I love right now, right? If you have a daughter, if you have a sister, love yourself like you love people that you love right now. Yeah.
Nurturing myself. So I have a friend who, she knows it. She has me time where she spends time most Saturdays with herself, drink a cup of coffee. So give us, whilst we are here, give us a few tips on that, nurturing myself, that self-love. Because if you're not able to do that, then we can't have that validation, right?
Yes.
Self-validation.
Now, it will look differently for everyone, right?
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I believe that over time, because I'm somebody who I do have this positivity bias, I guess, right? Because I do think that if I stay on the positive side, I'm not closing the door on possibilities. So for me, positivity means possibilities. If I go negative, I'm closing that door, right? I'm no longer thinking about options. So it's almost a survival skill, maybe for me, to stay positive and say there's got to be some possibilities out there. And for me, I think self-care means differently for everyone. For me, really, it's just like a good book with a cup of tea. That's me. Yeah. But it will look very differently for different people. And I also like to walk in the park with my husband, and we try to do it every day if the weather allows. And sometimes I feel stuck, and I just go to the park and we walk for an hour and a half. I come back, I feel better. You may say that, yeah, I'm working day in and day out. I don't have time. We gotta find time, because I have learned the hard way when I was in corporate, where I was working, I don't know, 17 or 18 hours. I feel like my mind just didn't have anywhere to go. And that was a time when I felt the most uncreative. Like I feel like I'm on this, I'm like a machine with no brain. So we gotta find some place for us to kind of recharge and nurse ourselves in a way. Because you can say, yeah, you fight really hard for that, right? I mean, when I say fight, I don't mean negatively. I mean influence, right? Talk to your boss, try to figure out what is the little way that I can help myself, because self-help first, right? Yeah.
Put on your mask first. On a plane, they tell you put on your mask first before you can help the other person, right?
Oh, I thought you said pretending mask. No,
yeah, we'll talk about mask.
Oxygen mask.
Put on your oxygen mask. Yeah. So, Eunice says a life full of impact, a life that echoes in the hearts of others. Thank you. Please let your comments come.
That's beautiful. Please put it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I know Sophia, she believes in comments and engagement.
I love, Marian can tell you, I'm like begging people to tell me what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, you've made that. I wrote down positivity means possibility.
Yes.
Find some place to recharge and nourish yourself. You are speaking to me. You are speaking to me. Now, I want us to, so thank you for those just joining us. We have Sophia Toh, who is no stranger to the Breaking Through community, and the conversation is on her book, The Game of Life. The Game of Life. And the game, each one of the letters means something. So let's start with the game, the G in the game, right?
So G, growth, yeah.
Yeah, G stands for growth. In chapter 1, you talk about shifting from comfort to curiosity. So talk a little bit about that growth, that curiosity, that discomfort or comfort, and then.
Yeah, I think for me, if I look at the 4 letters here, G is probably the place where I'm the most comfortable, because I am a perpetual learner, and you know me already right now that I'm so curious about everything. So my problem is not to learn, like what not to learn, and instead of what to learn. And I think for growth right here, we have to separate growth and learning, right? You can learn something, acquire knowledge, learn to do something. But growth is actually bigger than that, because part of growth involves learning, and sometimes you can grow through adversity in your life experience too, right? But growth really is meaning that we're becoming more whole in a way, and we are becoming more of ourselves. And so I was in my brother's house, and my niece came over with my book, and then she told me that her favorite part of the book is when I talk about Michelangelo, when he carved David, and he said he wants to release the angel that is inside that stone.
Tell the story for those who haven't read the book.
Yes, yeah. So I was in my brother's house. My niece came over with the book. So her dad has been reading parts of the books to her. I think he's trying to screen out anything that maybe like corporate stuff. So she said that the favorite part that she has listened to so far is the part where I talked about when Michelangelo talked about creating the masterpiece, David. What he was really thinking about is he wants to reveal that the angel that is sitting inside that marble, right? And I thought it's so beautiful as a metaphor for me as a coach and a mentor, because I've led team for many years, I've mentored people for many years, and I have always believed that we have it in us. Everyone has so much potential, but it's because of the outside noise. It's because of the pressure that we're receiving, or the stories that we tell ourselves, that is covering us up. So our job is really to try to dig out so that people can see the angel within us. Right? My job is not to carve you into an angel. My job is actually revealing or the helping you, right? Just maybe helping a little bit to help you to kind of try to get out like I don't know, hatching of an egg, right?
Yeah, like the butterfly coming out of
coming out like a butterfly, metamorphosis.
Yeah.
And because I do believe every one of us has potential, but there are research that show that, I think it was the positive intelligence guru Shajar who said that only 20% of people at the end of their career will say that they have fully realized their potential. And that is very sad, because it means that 4 out of 5 people felt that they did not fully realize the potential. And that is a very sad thing, right? A very sad thing. It means that every 4 out of the 5 people that you see will feel like they did not fully realize the potential. Yeah.
People, how are you feeling about this? Every 4 out of 5 people will say they were not fulfilled at the end of their career.
Yeah, that maybe people did not fully utilize their talents.
Fully realize their potential.
I know culturally, I do believe culturally, sometimes we were like, okay, we count on the boss to come and see us, right? To tap us on the shoulder if we work really hard. But especially in Western culture, right? If you don't give some effort to help people to see your values, you're going to be like within this mass group of people where people never see you. So sometimes we do want to fight for ourselves a little bit and help people to see your value, right? So if you're in a job where you feel like it's a dead end job, it's not leveraging your strength at all, you can start thinking about an escape plan, right? It doesn't mean that you quit one day and just walk away and then start from nothing. It means that you started to say, what is the escape plan for me, right? You started to see that, okay, if I'm in a job that is not, it's not really utilizing my strength, maybe you have conversation first internally with your boss and say, okay, is there anything internally that can actually better utilize your strength or your potential? And then you started to say, okay, how can I build myself so that I have an escape plan, that when I'm ready to pull the trigger and I can go to do something that's fully realizing my potential. Yeah, I see right now. I'm like, I really wanted to see how people feel about it, and I can't.
Yeah. So well,
there are type in the comments
here. The me time equal arrow to self-care to mental wellness. Then another comment is the outside noise can be very distracting.
Yes.
And then realize your full potential. I mean, that's scary, you know. If at the end of my career, I realized that I didn't live up to my fullest potential.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't even want to say fullest. Let's give it like 50%. How about that? Make it low, right? Yeah. Even.
Yeah. 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 Then Eunice said, "Hey, Sophia," because if you remember Eunice from other sessions,
I remember Eunice.
Yeah, she's here. She said because we allowed others to hire us to build their dreams instead of building our own dreams.
Yes. Yes, because we listen to others. We say, okay, everyone said that we have to make a lot of money. Everyone said we have to go viral. So everyone was jumping to that, right? Trying to chase something that may not even satisfy you, right? Yeah. Like me, like everyone was saying that well, maybe at that time I do want to be a CFO, but by the time I climb up there, I'm like, okay, maybe this at that life stage, this is not what I want anymore. Yeah. So we do listen to others a lot, but try to create a space where you can listen to yourself, look inside.
Yeah.
Okay, a Carl Jung quote that I know is in the book that at the beginning of one of the chapters is who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is. I know it's the quote.
Yeah.
I saw right? You saw it, right?
Yeah. So if you look outside.
Yeah, if we keep looking at other people, we have dreams, right? But those are not our dreams. It's actually other people's dreams, like Eunice said. But if we look inside, we know what we want, right? We know what we want. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking now in the book. So I hear you talk a lot about that introspection, self-introspection, that self-assessment, right? But I can't shake off the idea that you are climbing a ladder that is on the wrong wall.
You keep thinking about that one.
I keep thinking about that because, you know, I think that all that you're saying is we need to do that self-introspection, and that have that self-validation.
Yes. The self-introspection, because fulfillment, happiness, those are all inside job, right?
Yes.
We have the definition. We decide what success means, right?
Yes.
We are the one who is doing every steps, right? We are the ones who are executing. So we need to really be serious about what does success mean to you, really. Not what you read or what you see like outside in the outside world. Yeah.
So if I haven't defined what success means to me, what is your recommendation?
It's okay. Because I think I have recommended that maybe you do some values assessment, values exercise. In the book I did mention that I have my own template, but if you Google values exercise, you get tons of template out there. This is just a way for you to figure out what's important to you, because our values, our belief systems determine the future that we see, right? Yeah. Yes, I definitely have people say my values is financial security. Perfectly okay, right? Because at one point in my early career, financial security was really important for me. Yeah, because I feel like I need that foundation for me to feel like I have freedom, right? When I'm maybe mad at someone at work, or I feel I have freedom because I have financial cushion that I can walk away anytime, and that is a great feeling, right? So, and it's okay. So there's no shaming any values that you identify, but at least you know what your values stand for, not what the world tells you, right?
Yeah, so, yes. I'm looking at the comments here, and the person says, I believe it's George. She said, I retired at, is it 658? Sorry, my screen here. I retired at 58 to turn my wood craft hobby into a business. I am more relaxed, no pressure to, I feel like crying just reading this. I'm more relaxed, no pressure to deliver as it used to be at the office, and I am enjoying it. Thank you, Josh, for sharing this.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations. Yes. And is it okay if I share my life a little bit now?
Absolutely. This is today's your day.
So right now I have a 3M strategy for my life, 3 M's. So the first one is making memories. right? I have aging parents. My husband is aging too. I'm aging too. So I really want to make memories with my family. And I'm doing things that are fun. I'm taking poetry, reading with people in China. I'm from Malaysia. Having so much fun. I'm pursuing something that I have always wanted to do when I was younger as a kid. Making meaning. I'm very active in nonprofit. So I'm involved with, I think, 4 or 5 organizations where I'm really giving back. I'm mentoring people, mentoring young people. I run 2 book clubs. So those are very meaningful for me because I feel that I'm contributing to the world. And then the third one is making money, doing meaningful work. Because I think, Josh, you're probably in the same place as me where we don't actually want to work with people we don't want to work with anymore, but we have the choice, right? Yes. Yeah, we have that freedom. We pick the work that will make money, but they need to be meaningful for us. Yeah. And you can also apply the GME in there too, right? Something that you do right now give you growth. Are they authentic? Are they meaningful? Can you do it really well? Or can you work to make it really well, right? So you can also apply that GAME with what you want to do today too. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to leave G, but let's ask one more question.
Okay.
Somebody said, "Wow, Josh, congratulations, congratulations!" And this is amazing. You can find Sophia's book on Amazon. The link is in the chat. It's in the comments. Please, by all means. I know Sophia. She's is really at a reduced price. This is not for money making, but to share her knowledge.
Oh, this is meaning making.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I like your 3 M's. Do you call it the 3 M's of life?
You can make it however you want.
Okay, because I'm going to steal it. That would be
steal it, yeah.
Yeah, that would be one of our nuggets that we share. We have some surprises for you in December, so please visit our YouTube page and go to the comments because there'll be a lot of freebies. Yeah. There's another comment from Josh. George, he said the stress of leaving home early to be in traffic. Whoa, it's all over. Oh,
yeah, it's true.
Whoa. Can you show Josh some love? Yes, it's all over. Okay, yeah. Sophia, one more question on G. You talk a lot about comfort to curiosity. So yes. In the book, curiosity is very much tied to growth. Yes. You want to get a word about it and then we'll move to the next one.
Yes, comfort to curiosity. In my book, I talk about the tiptoe zone. So I talked about the story where I am still a very bad swimmer because I got a certificate that says I can swim 20 meters, but I actually still cannot swim. So one summer, I told my son, I said, I am going to learn how to swim now. And so he was like jumping the deep end of the pool because I learned how to swim in Malaysia. We didn't learn how to float first. I don't know why. Tread water. We literally just learned how to swim right away. So I don't know how to float, tread water. So he wanted me to jump on the deep end. I was like, no way you're asking me to jump into the deep end. So I started at the shallow end. You know how you slowly walk down and you get deeper and then water is getting up to your chin. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore because this is too scary. And then my son was like, you can't learn how to swim if you don't get across the tiptoe zone. So the tiptoe zone is where you started to tiptoe because the water was getting higher. I'm still not good in swimming, but I stole his words and use it everywhere because that was an aha for me, that if you are in your comfort zone, what is outside of the comfort zone is too scary, you can tiptoe your way through it. Wow. And I'll give you 2 examples. I wasn't very confident because I am still an immigrant. I wasn't very confident in public speaking, even though in Malaysia I was doing public speaking as a student. So I joined Toastmaster with a group of friendly people who are very supportive and who let me have fun and just be like make a fool of myself. And I got really comfortable in public speaking. So that's tiptoeing, right? Tiptoeing with a lot of people, tiptoeing with me too. And another one is, it's kind of weird. I was presenting, I was okay presenting in corporate and everything, but when people started to say like tape yourself on video, I could not look at myself on video. I don't know why. I just could not. I know you see my YouTube videos out there right now, but I just for some reason, I just could not look at myself on video. So I joined a Facebook group with a bunch of women. Every day, someone will throw out like a prompt to say, talk about your blah, 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 your favorite memories in 2 minutes. And then we have to do a selfie video and talk about it for 2 minutes, unprompted, impromptu. And we did that for, I think, like 17 days. So I got over it. That was my tiptoe zone, right? With a group of very friendly people. So that really stuck with me. Now, if I'm looking at something that is like really scary, I start to say, I can tiptoe into it. I'm not going to be like the expert right away. I look for it. I also look for community because I felt that I actually learn better when I'm struggling with a group of people. Maybe misery love company. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love the tiptoe your way out, because launching deep can be very, very scary. So I like this concept of tiptoe. At least try tiptoeing. When you talk about your swim, I remember when I was learning, I was not 50 yet, but he threw me day one. He threw us into the deep zone. deep, how do you call it?
Deep end.
Deep end. It's called the deep end. But there were people there to help you in case something happened.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your comfort zone to grow.
Yes.
To stretch.
But you mentioned another important thing too. You said there are people out there. They are lifeguards. So who are your lifeguards? Your family.
Oh, who are your lifeguards?
Right? Your family, your friends. So before you do something scary, share with maybe some friends and share with your family, right? And then so that you have cheerleaders and people rallying for you. When you fail, you're not like failing alone and miserably, because you actually have people say, hey, try again. Yeah.
As some people will say, do you have a tribe?
Yeah, like a tribe. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, somebody loves Toastmasters. That's Eunice. And yes, so Sophia, we will go to I would want us to touch all of them. But in your book, you talk about that badminton playing career, and you said the word no can be flipped backwards. It spells on, which is a great insight. And then you continue this on page 23, and you said rejection isn't the end. It can be an ignition.
Yes. Yes.
I love that.
You have to learn about yourself first, right? If you feel that, so think about your childhood. There's something that I call in the chapter that is called crucible moment. Sometimes when we have hardship, we have adversity, we turn it around, and maybe we don't turn it around and we learn more about ourselves. But that became our crucible moment because it helps us to understand ourselves a little bit more, right? So think about your childhood or anything that, okay. So for me, my story is I didn't get paid because I was too skinny and too small, have big glasses. I didn't get paid for the badminton team. I didn't even get to try. I was rejected right away. And then I just figured out a way to actually make it into the school team and actually had a pretty successful badminton playing career in high school. But that rejection helped me to see that I'm not willing to say I'll take it. I'll take it because you don't pick me, and I'm just giving up the fact that I can't play badminton, right? And that was my crucible moment. And the way that you can leverage it is every time when you're in a dark place where you feel like people are not taking you seriously or something, you look inside yourself and ask yourself, am I willing to fight for this and for my own sake, right? Sometimes it doesn't even matter if you make it or not. You just want to prove to yourself that you can do it. And when you talk about the no and the on, is that, again, I think in terms of playing games. So when people say no, I try to hack my own system and say, Sophia, when they say no, N-O, I'm standing on the other side. The way that I see is O-N, is on. Yeah, right. So the
bring
no,
it on.
if they see no and you're on the other side, your perspective is actually on. So that's how I tell myself. But of course, I have to make a choice and say, do I want to go and turn that no into on or not? It's my choice. Yeah. But if I decide to do it, you have to
bring the game on.
Yeah. You have to
bring it on.
Yeah. Bring it on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the game of life. We have, touched on, just scratched the surface of Gene. Now let's go to authenticity. Now we hear it all over the place. I'm bringing my authentic self, be your authentic self. But the the authenticity, chapter 4 says, the mask we wear.
Yes.
And there's a quote here that says the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So in the book, you talk about we all wear masks for different reasons. But anyway, just take us through that chapter through
Yes. Yeah, in the book, I think I'm trying to think about what is the common definition of authenticity. Like you are able to express your full feelings, everything. But authenticity at the end of the day is if we live authentically, we live in a way that is aligned with ourselves, right? Our own values and so forth. Not actually what the public say. Okay, if we live authentically. But how about showing up authentically? Showing up authentically doesn't mean that you don't show your authentic best, because we still live in a society full of other human beings. So when you show up authentically, what I'm saying in the book is it's actually a habit and a practice, right? If we show up consistently living our value, but how we express ourselves and appear in front of other people needs to be in context of the environment, right? So if this, let's say if the environment that you're in is very formal or everything, okay, maybe you ask yourself, okay, maybe I can tone it out a little bit, but still be myself. You still express yourself. You're not giving up anything, right? So keep that in mind. I recently had a great discussion with someone, and she was really showing up a lot more assertively in a presentation. Everybody was like, wow, that was so great. And then she told it that because she's kind of caring and soft spoken, and she's like, is that me? I said, that is you. Because so many times we put ourselves into boxes. You're an extrovert, you're an introvert. We're trying to kind of put ourselves into boxes with one identity only, but that is not true. We actually have multiple identities at different situations. It's situational. I always ask someone who say, oh, I'm you cannot make me to try to like be speaking up or outspoken in front of like my workers and all that stuff. But then I ask, how about when you're most relaxed with your loved ones, with your family, do you act differently? And they were like, oh yeah, I do act differently when I'm with my family. Why? So we're going back to our psychological safety discussion, right? So you know that what is authentically you? Is it the quiet you who may not have the psychological safety to act authentically? Or is it the you who is very relaxed with your family and expressing everything out because you have a lot of psychological safety? But both of them are you, because we have to start thinking ourselves as multi-dimensional and then also situational too, because then we empower ourselves, right? Yes, my preferred zone, okay, maybe you can tell, but I'm actually, I consider myself an extroverted introvert. I can turn it on, but I need my books, I need my quiet time. But because I know myself, I know that I'm turning it on right now for this presentation. I also know that I can turn it back off. So I see myself now, again, this is Sophia trying to metaphor everything out of life, is I see myself as like a thermostat. I have the power to turn it on and turn it off and up and down, but still be true to myself because my values still stay the same, right? What's important to me is still the same. I don't know if I answer your authenticity
you did answer
or not. Yeah.
No, you did answer. And I think that adding that we are multidimensional.
We are,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. And it goes into that emotional intelligence.
Yes. And I coach leaders, right? And sometimes they feel like, oh, we're in a crisis right now, but I'm not the cheerleading type. I just cannot. But I was like, you have that in you. If you're thinking about it now, you have that in you. But if you want to lead, you need to dial up your maybe more positive side so that you know that your people are not feeling depressed like you. Because we may have leaders who say, oh my God, being very authentic, right? Freaking out at the same time with your people. But how does it, what does it do to the effectiveness of your leadership?
Yeah.
right? It hurts your leadership. But you can stay authentic yourself, right? Stay authentic, and then maybe dial it up a little bit and say, hey, we are going to figure this out. I know, I don't know what to do right now, but we are going to figure this out. Say something that is true to yourself at the same time, but at the same time lead effectively, because with power comes responsibility. If you are a leader, you do have responsibility to lead a team, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, Sophia, you talk about the mask. Can you share some stories about the mask you've worn, you used to wear, and have taken off now? Can you, so that people can, we love stories.
Not the oxygen mask.
Not the oxygen mask.
It's a gas mask, right?
The proverbial mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have, like many years ago, I have people telling me, Sophia, when I go to work, I have a mask on, and when I come home, I take it off. And I was like, oh, it feels so suffocating, right? In a way. And then I started to realize that I am doing the same thing too. So when I first, I was early in my career, if you go to my closet, only maybe 2 colors, like gray and brown, like very earth tone, and all pants. So no skirt, no dresses, no skirt, because I think that's what corporate people look like, right? I need to look professional, and also I'm kind of nurturing and soft spoken. I also sometimes get coached by like a manager who's more command and control and say, you got to be angry a little bit more. You need to show that you're angry, right? Yeah. So I try. It was so suffocating in a way. It was because I feel like, oh my God, I cannot live in an angry state, because I feel that personally, I feel that anger is almost like a wasted energy. Because I love to, every time when I'm feeling angry, I'm like, okay, let's process. Why are you angry? And then I process it, and then right, and then it went away. But now it's saying that you let it sit in with you, and you give it to your people and show up as leaderly, right? And I was really struggling during that time when I tried to act leaderly in a way by showing up as being more command and control. And then I decided, no, I can't do that anymore. I can't. So I started to buy dresses. They're comfortable but professional, right? I started to dress on my own. You see more colors from me now, and I wear a lot of dresses because it's very comfortable. But the funny thing is, once I started to do that, guess what? People are saying, "Oh, you have presence, you have leadership, because you're so confident, you're comfortable with yourself." Weird, right? Because I am no longer stressing and trying to act like a leader, and I'm just like relaxing and say, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to be act the way that I'm naturally acting, right? And I started to get more compliments from people like, oh, you look so comfortable, and we like to hang out with you because you make us feel comfortable. So I started to realize that, hey, the mask that I was wearing is actually suffocating me. Not an oxygen mask, but maybe a gas mask. But once I took it off, right, I found myself in a way, and I also feel like liberation, because now people are accepting me as who I really am. Yeah.
Is your mask suffocating you? Then it's time to take it off. Whew. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking at. Let's jump to M. So there's a comment: leverage your crucible moment. I also call them guiding lights. And to be true to yourself is to maintain your values. Thank you.
Yes.
To be true to yourself is to maintain your values. Okay. Sophia, for those joining us,
like, every time you say Sophia, I'm like, okay, what's next?
So as I say, we are just scratching the surface. Let's go to M. M is meaning. Yes. And you have several chapters. You talk about climbing with purpose, the ripple effect. Yeah. You talk about making space for meaning. And I've said it, and I keep on saying it. Many people climb fast, but later realize their ladder was leaning on the wrong wall. How can someone check their ladder before climbing, even climbing? I think you've answered it.
You're stuck on that one. Yes. But okay. So in my book, I did talk about how we can find meaning. But I want to first talk about Ikigai. I don't know how many people has heard about Ikigai, right? Ikigai is this Japanese concept.
Yes.
That colloquially people will say that it means why you wake up in the morning, right? It's like meaning and purpose. So Ikigai, the common view of Ikigai, it has been kind of disputed by some.
Yep.
Some people who say that this is not authentically Japanese, but still is very helpful. That's why I put it in as a framework. Ikigai means that when we do something that we love, that we're good at, that we get paid for, and what the world needs, we hit that nirvana Venn, the inside of the Venn diagram. That's how we can achieve fulfillment, right, in what we do. So when I was doing my soul searching, I was like, okay, I love my job. I do still love finance and accounting. I get paid well for. I'm good at it because I do get a lot of headhunter at that time, right? I could not answer what I was doing for the world. That one was like kind of not there. So I think that was what was missing for me, the meaning part, right? I can make a lot of more and more money, and yes, does it bring a lot more meaning to me and my family? I couldn't even answer that question. But I can definitely answer the question of what I'm contributing to the world. Nothing. Maybe making donation, but nothing really. So in the book, I mentioned 3 ways to find meaning, and then I plus a number 4, based on Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, because Viktor Frankl, definitely, he is the psychologist and psychiatrist who really actually help people to see that as human beings, we need meaning. We need purpose. 3 ways that we can get meaning. One is through who we love, right? People we love. So let's say early on, I wasn't financially secure. I want to work and so that I can provide for my family I love, right? So we find meaning and purpose in supporting and caring for people we love. Okay. And then the second one is what we do. So you can talk to a lot of people in nonprofit and they feel so mission driven. I belong to 1 or 2 right now, right? Where they see so much meaning and in terms of how they can help other people, right? And you see fulfillment in them. So through how you contribute, what you do really, yeah. And then the third one is through suffering, and that's a surprise, right? But if you think about Viktor Frankl, who spent time in the concentration camp, and see a lot of people miserable, but he actually through that experience find meaning out of it, and he wrote so many paper and to help people to see that you need to have a reason to live, right? Some people just give up and that's it, right? But you do need a reason to live, and through suffering, sometimes through suffering you learn more about yourself. Sometimes you suffer and then you're like, I don't want another person to suffer this way. So, and then you find your purpose, right? Suffering means, like for me, I mentor lots of people because I see potential in people. Maybe because deep down inside, I felt that I wasn't being valued fully for what I have, right? So maybe that's part of me that is driving it. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And then the fourth one that I added is yearning. That is not part of Viktor Frankl because of so much of how much fun I'm getting from poetry reading right now. I added in my book yearning. Maybe deep down inside there's a whisper in you that said that it would be so great if I can nurture this part of me, this creative part of me that I never knew existed. Because I just randomly signed up for a virtual poetry class in February. But once I get in there, I started to recite expressively. Suddenly I felt that I found my voice, like figuratively and metaphorically. I found my voice because I can hear my voice, I can express through my voice. But that's the yearning part of me that was pushing me to do this thing, right? So I'm adding a little side yearning in there because, okay, I'm going to invite all of you to say, what is the thing that you have always wanted to do and you always put it aside and you always say, I'll do that when I have time. Or when
okay. So pause it. Sophia is asking a question. What is one thing that you've always yearned? Some people say bucket list, but one thing you've always yearned to do that you have pushed aside. What is it?
And Josh answered to his yearning too, right? I'm going back to Josh. I don't know if he's still on or not, but
yes.
Right, Josh, did you answer to your yearning, or is that you have always listened to your whispering? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's for me. I added that little one because I did not know how come I signed up for it and how come I'm so obsessed with it and how come I'm so happy, right, doing the activity. And then I realized that maybe all this time the whisper is there. I just never listened to it. Yeah.
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 It's interesting that last week, NK, who joined us, also talked about having that self-time,
Yeah.
alone time to
Yes.
listen. And I
Yeah.
think we are just running, and the noise,
Yeah.
and we are not listening to that inner voice
Yeah.
that is whispering to you,
And for some young people, they will say, I'm not interested in anything. This life, not good, no meaning, right? And everything. But think about what gets you excited, right? What, when do you come alive? Like what activity do you do that when you actually come alive, right? Yeah. That can maybe share some inkling on it too. And I also want to kind of encourage people to volunteer in nonprofit because sometimes seeing other people where you can actually help them give you some meaning too and can make me realize that okay, I'm actually not that bad. Right, so part of that, it's not like you need to come in like a savior to save everyone. No, nothing like that. It's really doing little things for people sometimes can help you realize that hey, you can find your passion, you can find your meaning that way. Experiment. If it doesn't work, try another one. Yeah.
Whoo. Wow, this is so good, so good, so good. So do you want us to jump to the last section, which is E?
We're not jumping or walking there because we move from M to E.
Yeah. Do you want us to move there?
Yes.
E is excellence, defining
Yes.
excellence, happiness, relationship, and contribution. And I
Yes.
like to read your thing here. It says, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. Okay. Excellence is never an accident. It's
Yeah.
always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution, by Aristotle. Strive for excellence, not perfection.
Yes.
Walk us through that.
Very important because I think people confuse professionalism and excellence, right? Like you have to score 100% before you can say that you're good, right? If you score 95 or 99, you're not good. You miss 1 point. But that is not true at all. Think about it. How many times in your life where you need to hit 100% for you to achieve your goal? That's not true, right? Right? It's not true. So I have written about how we need to separate professionalism and excellence because a very bad outcome and very common outcome is we wear ourselves out trying to pursue something that is so small incrementally that we exhaust ourselves. We get burnout, but it actually doesn't bring us anything significantly. And we spend so much time chasing it. I mean, similar to even relationship too, right? Do you want to find someone who is like completely 100% perfection according to you, according to your standard, without ever looking at yourself? And then before you find that perfect someone, you're not even going to try, and you don't allow any mistakes. I think the issue with perfection is you have no room for mistakes, and that is dangerous, right? That is going against the growth mentality. So if you have not heard about growth mentality means that we are moldable. We are constantly learning, right? We're constantly growing and getting better and better. Fixed mentality means that you're smart, you're not smart. Because you're not smart, you never grow. You can never learn something new. You never get to a good place. And it's dangerous to think that way. And I want to implore leaders, teachers, and parents that you don't want to like kind of teach your kids or manage your employees that way. Because if you kind of concluded that they are not good or they're good, both groups will feel pressure, right? Yeah, think about kids. If the kids feel like you don't think that they are good enough, they're not going to try. But if there's another group of kids, you're like, oh, you're so smart, but you're not acknowledging their efforts. When they fail for the first time, they're gonna be like, I'm not smart enough to do this. This is not, because they never learn to grow from mistakes. And then you put fear with mistakes together, because now they're afraid of making mistake. When you're afraid of making mistake, what do? You don't try. You don't take risk. You don't consider possibilities. You close yourself up, right? You get into negativity zone very quickly. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Sophia's other book, a book that she's contributed to, Leadership Unscripted. Do you want to show the book?
Oh yeah, I mean this book. Can you see?
We put the link in the chat so that you don't have to buy the book. You can read her section in the book. So please do well to
Yeah. So because there are 12 women in there and 2 wrote the preface, there's technically 14 stories in there. So I have my story as the last chapter. The link, if you click on it, I actually kind of uploaded the content of that chapter on my website. So you can just go ahead and read my story.
You can go ahead and read the story.
Yeah, I regretted not putting that chapter in this book because after I published it, I was like, oh, it'll be good for me to put my stories in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you have it. Josh responded to, it was a decision I had taken earlier, but waiting for the right time.
Yeah, good strategy. Yes, waiting for the right time. Yeah.
Waiting for the right time.
And okay, I do understand. So Josh, the decision also means that a lot of the time people were like, okay, I need to make enough. I need to make enough to retire. And I always tell people, how much you think you need is a decision, not an amount. You decide what the amount is, right, Josh? You decide that, okay, I have enough that I can take the risk now, right?
Yeah.
You're not going in 100% secure, right? Yeah. I'm guessing. Maybe
and maybe
you're in the lottery, but I don't know.
Angie says, strive for excellence and not perfection. I think that is really, really key. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if you have any question for Sophia, please put it in the chat. We'll read it out and Sophia will answer. Mm-hmm. So let's go to chapter 12 and then we'll be getting ready to wind down. You talk about the compass within.
Yes.
In that inner guidance. How can someone strengthen their inner compass when life feels chaotic or uncertain?
Mm-hmm. I do want to say, if life feels chaotic and uncertain, you need the compass even more, right? You need it even more. Because think about, is it hurricane or tornado? In the eye of the tornado is actually calm, right? No wind in there and it's circling outside. So think about, I think hurricane has an eye too. Sorry, I'm like confusing hurricane and tornado now. But this core that we have is what we stand for. Our values, our belief system, right? What's important to us. If we know what's important to us and the world is like circling right now, we will still act in a way that is consistent with our values and with our principles. We know what we will need to do. We get clarity because we have that center. Because in the center, in the eye of the hurricane or the tornado, it's calm, right? There's no like swirling over there. That is the core. And another way they think about it is when you play basketball and you need to pivot, right? You need a strong center so that you can pivot. That center, again, is your values, is your beliefs, is your determination that you can make it through, is your self-belief, is your self-compassion, your self-belonging. You can see all this self-work that you need to work on. Yes. Mm-hmm. Does it help? Does it answer your question?
Yes, that answers my question. Let's do a rapid fire round and then we will because I hope you agree to come again. Maybe we can take
it. Me? Oh, yes. Yes.
So Sophia, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've done us a lot of good, and I have more questions. Maybe I'll ask one question and then we'll go to the rapid fire. What part? Let's talk about your immigrant journey, because you have Chinese, Malaysian Chinese, shape the game framework most deeply for you. So what part of your immigrant journey has shaped this book and the framework game most deeply for you?
As an immigrant, right? Yeah.
Yes, as an immigrant. And then if you have any words of advice for immigrant professionals who are, caught.
That's a good question. I think maybe authenticity, because as a Chinese, Malaysian, American, I don't belong anywhere in a very straightforward way, right? I'm in Malaysia, but I'm in multicultural Malaysian, and Chinese is the minority, right? I call myself Chinese growing up speaking Chinese. That would not the Chinese culture in Malaysia, but people in China would think that I'm a foreigner, right? And then in America, I moved here, I'm an immigrant, right? I'm the minority. Yeah, I speak with an accent. Again, I don't quite belong squarely in any boxes. But at the same time, I think this authenticity, when I realized that my authenticity is not tied to one identity, because my identity constantly change. Wherever I go, any situations, my identity are different, right? And I'm okay with that, right? So for me, I see myself as an American, but I study with people in China, right? I'm going back to Malaysia. I still see Malaysia as my hometown. I do think that it's my intersectionality. When I finally accept and acknowledge it and say that is my authentic self. My authentic self is not a clean one. It's actually a messy one, and a beautifully messy one that helps me to thrive and flourish as an immigrant, because I think it's important for us to really find that self-belonging and say that I belong. You belong here, right? I contribute. I belong. Yeah, I earn my place here. And as an immigrant, very important for us to remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So authenticity. And I think you touch on the multi-dimensional aspects of us.
Yes, intersectionality, multiple identities,
multiple identities. Really, really good. Let's go rapid fire. So one word. This is quick and fun, and
okay. I'm ready.
One word for the season you are right now.
What?
Right now. One word for the season you are in right now.
I'm actually joyful. Yeah.
Joyful. Okay.
Yeah.
A mask you no longer wear. A mask you no longer wear.
Angry. Angry mask.
Angry mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A habit that grounds you. A habit that grounds you.
My habits is when I have emotions, sorry, long answer, is really do ask, pause and say, curious about, why am I feeling that way? And I really actually process it. So I don't know, pause maybe?
Pause. Okay.
Is the habit.
Pause. Okay. Which part of game, GAME, is your superpower today? GAME. G-A-M or E?
I think it's still G. It's still the easy place for me to go to. Okay. Because I think that every time when I face adversity, I face any problems, I go to G. I get curious. Okay. I go, how come this does not work? And I decide if I want to go pursue it or not. If I want to turn that no to on or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I know my favorite quote from your book, but one quote from your book you want our community to remember. One quote.
It's the one by Joseph Campbell that says that the cave that you're afraid to enter hides the treasure. Oh. Yeah, hides the most treasure.
The cave you're afraid to enter
hides the most treasure. I probably am not quoting it correctly, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Cave they're afraid. Because there's one quote that I did not make it in and I was like regretted later on. It's by Carl Jung also. He says that when we don't make our unconscious conscious, we start to call it fate. Because our unconscious minds are actually dictating what we do. And a lot of the time it's holding us back and giving us that fearful feeling, right? So which means that the cave that you're afraid to enter has the most treasure that you can find.
I like that. I have to find it from the book, the page.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there are several quotes. You are Carl Jung, you are what you do, not what you say you will do. But for me, my favorite one is climbing a ladder that is against the wrong wall.
I know.
That stops me. that really stops me that I really need to do that self-assessment. But what a wonderful time we've had with you. Sophia, last and final question. Thank you, everyone who has joined and stayed to the end. And for those who will be watching the replay, if you are watching and you're not subscribed, would you mind subscribing, liking it, and leaving a comment? Thank you. Sophia, final question. If someone listening could shift just one thing today to live their game with courage, clarity, and heart, as you say, what should it be?
Tell yourself you belong and you matter.
Tell yourself
you matter. Yeah, you belong and you matter. Yeah.
I'm trying to write down. Tell yourself you belong and you matter. Can somebody put it in the chat? Tell yourself you belong and you matter. And I'm saying it so that I write it. Tell yourself, I'm saying it yourself, you belong and you matter. So I'm telling myself, I belong and I matter.
I matter. Yeah, I belong and I matter. Yeah.
I belong and I matter. Thank you, Sophia. What a rich and meaningful conversation we've had with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You've always been a supporter. You've come.
Yes.
I think you've come on the most 3 times.
Or 3 times, yeah. Am I the most frequent guest for you?
You are the most frequent guest. And I applaud you. You were the first guest, actually. First guest with Idana. So thank you, everyone watching. Grab your copy of The Game of Life. The Game of Life. And also the freebie on the chapter in Illuminated, the chapter on Unscripted, Leadership Unscripted is a freebie. Please download it. Thank you for being here. Reflect on your game. We all have a game. We all have to define our own success. We are all playing our own game. Your growth, authenticity, meaning excellence. And see which area needs your attention this week. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And we will see you on this December 6th. December 6th, we have lawyer Charles Akresi, who has an amazing story of how. Just stay tuned for more information on his story. And tell yourself again, I matter. Everyone, I matter and I belong. Sophia, thank you so much. And we will see you all on the 6th. Bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.